run. I was gonna say like a 12 or something.
Yeah, it's gonna
Well,
be
anyway,
right. I think we're recording.
for now. You're right. I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It is 6:05 p.m. with Corey, Anna, and Tyler in attendance, as well as a few members of the public. Um, They're making some quick notes. I'm going to pull up the prior meeting minutes, which was June 26th. That was the annual second quarter meeting. Those minutes are as follows. The meeting was opened by reading the previous meeting minutes. Minutes were approved by the board. The board was pleased to announce that the park is now open to the public without the gate being locked. Corey is planning to meet with an individual about grants to apply for with the intent of making park improvements. They will be helping Corey to help ensure application efforts are made efficiently and to help maximize the chances of success. Corey has received a bid from Hendren Remodeling to make several improvements to the restrooms, a new parking lot fence, concrete repairs, post repairs, and other miscellaneous repairs. Total bid amount was $9,862. But some additional improvements were requested after the bid was received to help accomplish some more repairs with the funds that have been approved and allocated. The revised total amount looks to be closer to an estimated $15,1200. The seal coating on the basketball court is already in disrepair due to some extensive periods of not being sealed. Corey's working with Dale, the mowing contractor, and the seal coating company to pressure wash the course so that it can be resealed more effectively. The Jubilee Association replaced the roof on the bandstand. They also reported some repairs that need to be made by Duke Energy to the electric service coming into the park. Corey is coordinating with our insurance agent for the park and the Jubilee Association to clarify which buildings are covered under the park's policy. Corey mentioned findings indicating that the future of Indiana townships, such as Seward Township, is uncertain due to upcoming legislation, House Bill 1461. Corey will continue to monitor the legislation to determine the extent to which it affects Seward Township. Corey reported that the new gates have been removed off their hinges multiple times. Following the agricultural tire tracks to the property behind the park, the board is led to believe that whoever is farming the land behind the park may be responsible, but there is no proof of which as of this meeting. Corey has researched the property and verified there are no legal easements in addition to the one providing access to the park entrance from the highway. The new security cameras have now been installed, and we will continue to monitor them for additional attempts of vandalism to park property. More discussions were had about adding various signs and notices around the park, as well as chaining the gates to the posts. Corey followed up with the emergency assistance discussed in the prior meeting, and the recipient has still to date not filled out an application. Corey is going to send them a certified letter to formally request an application. Is that still going, Corey? It went off the screen, didn't know if it was still good or not.
Yeah, it's good.
But the board acknowledges that funds have already been provided, and we therefore cannot force them to complete an application. However, the board agreed to make a note of the event and to consider it if this particular applicant requests township assistance in the future. Regarding financials, Corey reported that the township's financials are on track for the year. The township will be implementing capital improvement plans moving forward to help ensure the consistency and reliability of income from tax levies. With the Chelsea Park being the primary capital asset of the township, it will continue to be the main recipient of these capital improvements. Tyler motioned to accept the township board resolution regarding variances applicable to Seward Township in response to Corey's coordination with the SBOA, State Board of Accounts, regarding internal control standards. Nori seconded and all members voted unanimously in favor. These documents are annual requirements that essentially ensure all board members will act ethically regarding control of funds and assets allocated to the township. And a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:55 PM, seconded by Tyler and voted unanimously in favor. Those are the end of the minutes.
Before you guys approve, let's, talk about the cost of the, repairs out here. I got 9862.
So you do have a revised.
Well, I think, well, yeah, we need to talk about that real quick because it didn't make sense. I know 9862, he and I agreed on that. What he and I couldn't figure out, and I look back in my handwritten notes, I didn't have it. He gave us that day because we talked about painting the top of the roof and that's what it was for. You had 15,000 down. That's not, what did you?
That was an estimate of what the future
Oh,
expenses on top of
okay,
that
okay.
might be.
Oh,
That was
okay.
totally an estimate. That's
Special
all.
roof.
What did you have
I
wrote down?
had 9,862 for the outhouse and the block restroom. And then, our back restroom. And to paint the shelter house would be 14,000 or 15,200 for the special seal coat.
What did you have written down? What did you?
I just had the 9862 for sure for the initial bid, and then we estimated it could be
What-
15.2 with all the addition. That was improvements to the restrooms, new parking lot fence, concrete repairs, post repairs, and other miscellaneous repairs.
I can't believe painting the roof was gonna be 3,000 extra dollars. I think that was,
Something else too.
There again, that's
14,000
just
for
an
the
estimate
regular
though, like
seal
if
coat.
there needs to be, like, that's just what we thought at the time. I don't think
Okay.
that requires a minutes revision. We can certainly revisit it.
well, because I gotta pay him.
Sure.
So,
Well, yeah, we can make a note of what the final cost was, you know.
Well,
So.
no, that he doesn't remember exactly what he told me the day that we were sitting down.
Oh, okay.
That's what I-
9862 is what, we heard.
I think-
We're not sure.
That was for everything but the rooftop.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
mention
we-
the roof, but I don't know if we
The
rolled it under,
rooftop was out here that day.
I don't know if we rolled it under miscellaneous or not.
I just know it's gonna be another 1,200 for the special roof coating.
Well, that's what we
Well,
decided to do. Okay, I do have
So-
4,400 down. Let's use the
Okay.
different.
Chicken scratch.
Yeah,
Okay.
the aluminum coating was.
Okay,
still-
I will talk to him and square that up then later. Okay, all right, cool. I'm
that
good.
the only,
Yeah, no,
uh,
that's it. Yeah, that's the only thing that I had a question about.
Part of that, so. Good, you need to make a motion to approve
Yep.
those, I'll
Motion,
make a
motion,
motion,
okay.
make a motion,
I'll make motion.
and make a motion. Nora seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Yeah. 5-4. Okay. All you three.
Okay, let's, first things first, the main purpose of tonight's meeting is the budget. This is the lovely, this is what's published. We have, pretty standard issue stuff here, nothing crazy. I'm gonna get to view. Let's do a full screen view. There's gotta be a full screen here somewhere. Tyler, you any ideas? No?
Now you can zoom.
It's just.
Do a,
I had to click on a cell.
it's a magnification.
So pretty much same stuff as last year. I could bring up last year, but nothing.
Any changes would be over here, right?
No, this is just the adopted, what we will adopt. This is just a downloaded copy, so it's an exact replica of what is on the state. Each of you guys will get $3,000 for next year, not a piece, splitting. Sorry.
Like, remind me to run again
Sorry.
next time.
That'd be
You
nice.
guys, the three of you guys are splitting $3,000. Let's fix that. So 1,000 apiece, 12,000 for me, social security, 2,700, 800 for office supplies. We never spend that much. Internet, I get free internet, so I don't pay for it.
We got it out here now too, though, right?
Yeah, but I haven't brought that out of the general fund ever. I've always taken that out of the park so far. Just because it is
Right.
park related.
Gotcha, sure.
Improvements, that is, just improvements around the parks. Now, so some of these things are gonna change just ever so slightly, and what I mean by that is we have to start planning for this capital improvement plan, okay? So like last year, what we had was $10,000 worth of legal fees. We need to start, we split our money up into these improvements because we need the general fund is one of the funds that that extra, that 30% that we were talking about that would go to that special fund last time will come out of the general fund. So we've created a new line item in the budget called improvements. What this means is capital improvements, whether we decide whether we have to spend the money. We don't at this point, but it's a line item there so that we don't have to do some sort of special appropriation should the time come. So we built that in, legal fees, telephone, everything else is just right down the line. No changes there. Budgeted again, 13,000 for our township assistants. I keep trying to get people to, I mean, heck, I've given them out like wildfire, but I don't understand. I think people get scared because it's an official government document. But I tell everybody, don't stress about it. Just like, we'll make it work. Just, you got to get it back to me. You know, just like this last month, I had 3 different people. I sent 3 different applications out. Bill's due in a couple of days. I don't know where I'm going to get this money. They're going to shut it off. I mean, I can't.
Right.
I mean, all I can do is get it to them and tell them if you have any questions, call me. And then I never, you know, it's crickets after that. So I don't know if, you know, I can't go fill it out for them.
Right, right.
I mean, and I would do that. I mean, if somebody called me and said, hey, I don't understand that.
No.
And I've done, there are people that have called and said, hey, what do I do? We'll work through that, right? It's not a problem. So anyways, we've budgeted another 13,000. Firefighting went, and so you remember, we agreed to go through this company, this CL Coonrod, that CPA people that to help us with the capital improvement plan that we talked about. What his recommendation is since also part of that capital improvement plan that we're going to talk about after this, even though our contract with the fire department is 18,000, we go ahead and put in the budget a little higher. We have the extra fund, we have excess money in there, but that way we don't have to come back and have again another special appropriation should we have to come and actually follow through with some of this capital improvement. So just because we've got 25,000 budgeted does not mean that new contract with the fire department is for 25,000. Does that make sense?
We'll have the extra.
We'll have extra we can pull from. to
Yes.
Help use for capital improvement stuff. So how does capital improve? I guess we'll talk about it here after a while, but I want to make sure we look at, or we clarify how capital improvement falls under that.
It is one of them. Yes,
Okay.
it does. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm assuming you've got them spread out throughout several things.
Yes, yeah.
But then you've also got a separate line item for capital improvement stuff.
And you'll see that, yes, in the future, yeah. Repairs and maintenance, out here at the park, and so that's what the last one is. Budget again, 30,000, just same thing, same way we did this year. Don't intend to spend 30,000 next year. It's just in the event. We've got to do it, you know, it's out here.
You never know if a tree's gonna fall over.
Well, we have had a wonderful tree over there. You can see our big brown spot.
Yeah.
I do have a quote. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. To get that guy cleaned up, a local company, has shot us a quote, to get at least
Is that a whole tree to them?
yeah, it's a huge hickory, yeah. So they're gonna get it down into manageable logs. Logs will then go to my house. Save us.
They'll get rid of the brush and stuff.
They'll get rid of all the brush, grind it up, make it pretty and all that kind of stuff. That's essentially that. There's really no vote about any of this tonight. That is
Just proposed.
that is just the proposed. This is a time to discuss.
So the main two points that I'm picking up on it is, there's the new line item for capital improvements, but it's not on here yet, right?
Well, it's not, if we had to make, if we have to go to that extent and spend, let's say, and I'll show you here just briefly.
To actually create a new account or.
Yeah, when all that comes down, there will have to be a separate meeting for it. There would have to be a special appropriation for it. We're just trying to go ahead and make that line item in there so that it's there. It's a fundable line item. It's an easy. It just
So we're
makes
not
things.
scrambling.
Yeah.
Okay, so because it would take so long to
Cause especially.
physically add a new line item on this sheet
Yeah.
to help us in the short term,
Yeah.
we're dividing out what we're planning to use for capital improvements among several other applicable line items that we
Yeah.
already have. That way the funds are accessible and usable. Okay.
Bingo.
So we have not added a new line item. That's not correct. Let's see. Give me a minute to reword this.
But yeah, so anybody wanna have any, this is right on par with the same thing that we've done every year. Essentially.
Well, if our guy says that's what we need to do.
Yeah,
Sure he knows.
and I've spent, a couple hours on meetings with him and at a few different times, so very informative, good guy. It's been helped out a lot through the budgeting process.
Good.
For there.
Guys got any questions about it?
I think so.
Okay.
There.
Like it's all in a row.
So you're saying I suppose we could look at last year's compared to this year's and note which ones you did increase, right?
We increased pay, we increased the social security, we,
We have a chance to. See.
I didn't change the mowing of the, cemetery, just random mowing of township cemeteries. That, I think that's actually supposed to be for the park. I think he's just typed that in wrong.
Will you restart again? I'm sorry, I wasn't ready to make.
Oh, sorry.
I wanna. The pay of township board,
Yep.
okay?
And the social security. Increase the social security. Cause we gotta pay our taxes.
That's what increased.
Yeah.
Table it up.
We just split that improvement line out. Other than that, it's almost an exact replica. Like I said, this is supposed to, this is actually, used to be the park. I've been paying the park out of the park fund. So
So you're saying you took this improvements and
legal fee used to succumb both of these.
okay.
We split that. But electric and water, never cost us that much. Our park insurance does not cost that much. Bond, that's how much the bond is. It's not cost $500 to budget, to publish it. I don't know how, I don't exactly know. Cause I hadn't been charging for my telephone. I will at the end of the year because obviously everything that happened last winter and we were advised to start doing that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that may have to, then next year probably may change a little bit, but you know, cause it's just supposed to, per the IC code, it's like you just split the phone bill. So
Right.
of course, I'll have all that documented and, you know, ready to go.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it for this one.
Said something about fire department?
Oh, the fire department, yeah, so that was the other thing that changed, we did increase the budget on that. And that's mainly just if something was to happen, we don't have to have a special appropriation come back. We're not gonna, they have
From
not,
18,
yeah, but the contract is still 18,000.
and we'll just accumulate that.
Yeah, no
Dip
different.
into it if we need to for capital improvement.
Yeah, if they came in and said, hey, we needed a radio, kind of like they did last year, hey, we need a couple radios, we wouldn't have to have you know,
It's
special
there.
meeting and all that kind of
Put
stuff.
in the budget, yeah. All right.
It's already there. Oh, Grant, shoot. Look, I'm gonna have to talk fast. You're gonna have to type fast.
All right, let's go.
All right, you ready? All right, so next thing is the capital improvement plan. So this is the outlet, this is what that House Bill 1461. You scared me, 1651, it's 1461.
14.
Yeah, I was like, I looked over, cause I saw you write it down, I was like, that's not, that number didn't match. This is as a result of that House Bill 1461, okay? This is what I was talking about. If you have any of those unused funds, if you remember me talking about how the state legislatures believe that the townships have $750 million just sitting around waiting to be used and not being, you know, it's not being used. So this is their way to try to get at those ghost funds that they keep acting like we all have. So anyway, so what this is you have to fill out this form, and I'm really glad that I didn't have to do it. But I'm really glad that we agreed to use that company because I can tell you right now, yeah, so, anyways, luckily, and it's been a very good learning process, and I've brought there's been several township trustees that have leaned on me because they knew that we were gonna go ahead and use them. They have called me, I've talked to, well, there's 9 township trustees or something like that, I think, and half of them have called me for information. Hey, how do you do this? Can you explain this to me? So it's been very good.
Good for the county.
You know, even if nobody else in the whole entire, even if none of the other trustees followed through with using those guys up there, our money went to help benefit them. So I'm not sideways about it. We've done good for the community. So nonetheless, what we found is that, there essentially are just a couple of funds that this 30%, this excess funds can come from. And luckily, we only have one of those funds. Well, we technically have 2. It's an excess levy. Somehow we got this strange random $145 in our excess levy fund sometime many years ago when I was going through the audit process. The audit people were like, well, we don't know where it came from. I'm like, great. So what can we do with it? They're like, I just leave it there. And I'm like, whatever. So perfect. So there is a few extra dollars in there that's the one fund that we didn't really think about in the first place, but the general fund is definitely. What I mean by unrestricted, so things like the Township Assistance Fund, that money has to be used for township assistance only. That cannot be used on road projects. Firefighting fund, that can only be used for firefighting. The park fund, that money is earmarked for expenses here at the park. They can't strip money out of that fund. So the general fund, though, it can be taken from. So the capital improvement plan is how you stipulate how you're going to use these excess funds, right? Because we're not budget, we have, let's see if I can.
You still budgeted under that line item, so you still have to use it for
Yeah.
that purpose, yeah.
Yeah, so, estimated cash balances at the end of, next year if we spent everything that we just showed that on that previous screen, if we spent all that $36,000, whatever that was, we would still have $39,887 left over in our general fund. And that's the money that the state is looking for. They're looking for those extra funds that you don't have budgeted, right? And so that's where this capital improvement plan comes in. Can we show that we have a plan to use those funds to lock them up? And so that's what this is. We're trying to utilize township funds in the township, right? And so our capital improvement plan here in a couple of pages, let's get down to it. This is the excess levy fund. So,
You go back to that other screen for just a second.
yep.
39,887, okay.
Yep, 39,887. Yep. If we spend all of the money I just showed you on that previous screen,
Yeah.
we spent every dime that we had in the budget, that's how much we would have left prior to receiving more money, right, from tax drive. This is what we broke out. This is what Michael and I, Tyler and I, not that Tyler, but Tyler from this company and I, we sat down and we cussed and discussed and we figured this out. So we agreed that we would try to, and knowing that we've also applied for some grants, right? Which I'll talk about the grant process here in a little bit. I know that the Jubilee Association has talked about some grant money that they may have. We're trying to obviously buff up the playground, right? We're trying to revamp the playground. So this comes in at a good time. We have a reason to spend the money. So anyways, here's all the things that we are planning and when we're planning to be able to do it over the next several years, right? So this is years of expense. So this is not talking about spending the money next year. It's talking about spending the money in 27, right?
Yeah.
Once we realize how much extra we would have at the end of next year, right? So nonetheless, we've put down 5,000 for recreational ball or recreation activities, trying to revamp he's got, I don't know what Gagaball. I think he must have misunderstood me, but that's all right. 9 square, it's cool. It's a living document. Okay. This is not something that once we submit it, it's set in stone. This is something that we will do and revisit annually so that we can continue to keep our funds for use in Saluda Township. So this is just 5,000 for the basketball. I think what he was probably confused about is we've talked in some of the playground talks. We talked about you potentially having because right now, what is that small tennis-like game? Pickleball. There you go, pickleball. We talked about pickleball. That's one of the drawings that we'll talk about in a little while, but nonetheless, we've also looked at playground equipment. So that's where some money is going. Shelter house renovations, which we have spent some of that money, but obviously, it's going to need more as time goes on, right? But these are just some of the things. The other thing that we can spend money on that is considered a capital improvement is the fire department, right? It needs to be whatever you're spending this money on has to have value. It has to add real value. It can't be expendable, right? You can't buy it like laptops and wastable things, right? It has to be something that
If it improve the capital assets of the township.
Yes, absolutely, right. One thing, and we added in the weed eater. Whether we ever wind up getting one in a couple of years or not, I don't know, but it wouldn't be a terrible, if we ever had to follow through with this, it wouldn't be a terrible thing to have out here in the event that we needed one. So, but those types of things are things that we can buy, so.
So I guess my question is on the fire department. Is that gonna be like the tornado shelter sirens and stuff we talked about? Is that money gonna be here?
I brought that up and yeah, it doesn't have to, actually brought up a tornado siren at, the state meeting that I went to back in the summer. And somebody made a comment that doesn't your, doesn't your 911 services have, don't they spend that money out in your community like that? And I said, well, the tornado came through our area and there is no tornado siren in our area. And we had several people die and I picked the bodies up and I made multiple statements to a lot of people about having one out here and there's not one out here. I said, so we're probably going to end up having to do it ourselves. And they just kind of looked at me and I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I can't make these people pay attention to us out here. So we just gonna have to take the bull by the horns. So some of that could be that, right? And then also is, you know, again, does the fire department need something to maybe not only benefit us, but help benefit the fire department in a positive way, right?
Yeah, I would just like to see the other townships putting that into it too. You
There,
know?
well, so Hanover Township just gave 53,000 to the fire department for new air packs. So Hanover, yeah, and we went into bat for that and got 53,000 from. We were again, I went playing a double-edged sword here because I am with the fire department also. In the meeting at Hanover Township, I also informed them of the things that I've learned out here about House Bill 1461 and told them, hey, you know, they're talking about taking this money. And so that was kind of part of trying to help bring some of this down so that it gets spent for people in this area, right? Not necessarily just
Use it
food,
on
but
what,
for,
use it on what we want to spend it on before they decide to spend it on something else
Yeah.
for us.
yeah, yes, yeah. And that's the fear. That is, and
Yeah.
I think it's a justifiable fear because I think that they may not act like that's gonna be the case now, but I think long term, once the money goes into a fund,
Use it or lose it.
it's gonna be, in 2 years, they're gonna be like, well, we don't really want them to have any say so over it anymore, so they just write a new law and now that money's gone, so. Anything, that's just the way I feel, anything that we can do to keep it here, to help us, you know, is best, so. But again, like I said, this is a living document. This is just kind of something to get it started, right? This is just touching on the beginning. And we can change this and augment this as time goes on, but we will, yes. Now, we will have to actually vote and adopt this at our next meeting. I didn't really have to present it today, but I wanted to go ahead and get it on there. We could vote to adopt it now, but we'll wait till the 3rd, because we'll have to adopt the budget on the 3rd. We'll have to adopt this on the 3rd, and hopefully the 3rd will be a boom, 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 and hopefully nothing crazy happens between now and then that we have to vote on. So, other than that, if you have any recommendations or anything that you would like to see on that, again, that was just stuff that the Tyler from this company and he said this is kind of the other places that he's working with, since, you know, it's not like we have trucks and we don't have a water department and a road department and all these other things that we could, you know, there's no need for us to buy a vehicle for the trustee to drive around, right? There's no need for us to buy and do some of these other things that some of these massive townships are going to be able to do with it. I said, let's put it at the park and keep the park, you know, and so that's kind of.
Keep making improvements to this thing that we have.
Yeah, so that's the plan.
I guess I would just like to flip the 50 and the 45. That's my recommendation. Make the majority, the higher number. Be
Well, we have all that is the park, so that's.
Those two line items are part.
Yeah, those,
you got
that top
45
three
plus
is
25.
all park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Park's
Okay.
getting more.
Good.
Yeah, and this is not something, this is
If y'all don't know, I was in a wreck, so
you're good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is all
yeah, I see it
not
now.
even real. This is not something that is.
Can vary between now and then or even after it.
Oh, yeah. And
You
you
don't
can
even have to, and right
change
now
it.
you don't have to spend this money.
Right.
This is
This
something.
is all after next year, so like.
Yes,
this is
and
like
this
2
has
years
to-
from now.
Yes, and again, this can change. This This is so that we get this done by the 30th of September, so that we get our tax levy next year. That's what it is. It's a game. It's the states playing games. So we just have to go to bat.
Yeah.
It's good for that.
Yeah, and that's,
We got,
Again, there
we
were-
already use it to put it back in the community.
well, there were a lot of even
Mhm.
some of there have been folks that I've talked to that's been like, well, I guess we'll just have to give them that 30%. I'm like, why the hell are you gonna give them that 30%?
Right.
Do you not listen to the words coming out of my mouth?
Use it on something.
So until the state mandates, until the state mandates that this has to be done this way, it's a living document.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
All right,
So,
next line item.
that's that.
That's
So,
the CIP.
that was the CIP. Let's go. We talked about Tony. Let's talk about the next cool thing. Let's get some of these. So as I've talked to you guys individually, and I think I even talked about it at the meeting in the openness, we have officially, and I've talked to Eston, about it. I have officially, we are officially in the process for, one grant at this moment. Through the Community Foundation, I have requested, I think, $40,000 from them.
Oh, yeah.
For upgrading the park. And we are still actively in that grant cycle. We have passed the first level of grant. I don't even know my first time writing a grant personally, so I don't even know how to really. What happens is they bring all, they'll get, let's say they get 15, right? They'll look at all 15 applications and they're gonna start picking them out. Well, we've made it through the first wave. Cool. So I feel good about that. I think, I did,
You called it.
I even had Shelby proofread my stuff.
Oh, it's gotta be good.
So,
You called it the Community Foundation?
It is, it's through the community.
$40,000?
Yeah.
So we applied for.
Yep, so far, and so anyways, let me get this up, let me get this pulled up real quick, and so this might be a little bit hard to see, for starters, but this is just getting an idea, but in the process, so I'm sure you know that we opened the park gates, right? If you read the newspaper, there was an article printed about the park. The next day, I got a phone call from a friend of mine and said, we would like to talk to you. And I said, okay. And so, about a week later, I had a meeting with, the, Bethany Legacy Foundation, who, worked very diligently and very closely with the folks up at Deputy to put in the new fancy park up at Deputy. And we stood out here in the blazing heat of the sun for way too long. But their recommendation, because originally I'd already talked to the guy from the Community Foundation. I feel good about our application, right? I feel like we've done well. Obviously we don't know what will happen, but I was thinking, man, if we could just build a $40,000 playground, and Eston the Jubilee Association had told me over the phone that they have a few extra funds. We have a few extra funds. I thought if we pooled all of this money together and we got like 50 grand or 55 grand together, man, we could really put something cool out here, right? And that's what I was just going with, something, just one little piece that would be cool, and it just a changer. Bethany Legacy Foundation, her question was, well, what's your vision? I said, well, what's the budget? Because I'm a visionary. I do see growth, right? That's just the way I look at it. And she goes, after that meeting, the recommendation to me was, and she sent me a list of people to start calling. And so I contacted this company called Commercial Recreation Group. out of Indianapolis. There's a nice gentleman up there, by the name of Nick. I called him and I said, hey, I have received a recommendation to have some options created for our park because this foundation that wants to potentially work with us, if we so get a grant and we get through they want to see community involvement, right? They don't want it to just be one person's idea. They want the community to have a say-so in what could potentially happen. And so he said, we do exactly that. He said, let me get, and so then I had a meeting with him and we stood out here for way too long in the blazing sun, with no fan, I might add. So we were definitely sweating because that was right in the heat of everything. So, we measured and looked and all this kind of stuff. And so, this is one of the three options. So the very first thing, and this is what we talked about as far as, Est and I had called you and told you, I said they had a farm theme. This is the little kids farm theme. This would be like what we would call phase one, right? And so kind of the thought process here is, hopefully we get the community foundation grant. Hopefully, we still are able to follow through with the Bethany Legacy Foundation. They are able to, we go through a grant process with them, praying that we would be accepted into into their process as well.
So okay, I'm gonna stop. So we've done the 40,000 application through community that's passed the first wave of approvals, and there's a secondary grant.
We have not applied for anything yet. Their recommendation, and they would like to see the community involvement.
They need to see the vision, which is
They
why
want to see the vision.
Gotcha.
And so the first step, their recommended.
Yeah, recommended.
Their recommended first step was to have these drawings made, and what to do is, and I've talked with the Jubilee Association. Hopefully my schedule will allow it to be out here the majority of the time during the Jubilee. I know that I have that's going to be like an ultra busy weekend for me, but hopefully I can be here during the entire Jubilee to kind of talk to folks. They're going to provide me a spot. I've even got a tent if I need to bring it out here. These 2D drawings, if we're happy with kind of what we see tonight, I talked with Nick earlier, if we kind of like the looks of these options, he's going to go and create true 3D images of it. So it's more realistic. So it's more size. So it looks, and
Better vision.
have these big display boards that we are going to be able to set out here during the Jubilee, let people come up and vote on what they would like to see done. We have the Jubilee Association that definitely wants to be involved in what we're doing. We have our backing. Seems like we have, I'm pretty sure once there are several other local business owners that I strongly feel like once that we can show a vision and, this third option or this option here, this is going to be, now these pieces can be adjusted. So don't get construed by exactly the pieces, but this is kind of the site plan potentially. I will say this first thing he said, unfortunately, he said, and Nick goes, we love that you have a working merry-go-round and that slide, but he said, you guys they gotta go.
Yeah.
They gotta go. I said, I figured as soon as we got something involved, I said, I got a nice place for them. They'll leave. It won't be a problem.
Yeah.
So anyways, again, this is just a simplified 2D drawing. I should be able to have by the next meeting, better drawings even.
It shows the basketball court and potential,
pickleball. Yeah.
Is that pickleball then there were this?
That's gonna be over here for that
pickleball
playground,
is over
that
here.
swing set.
Yeah.
And then
So
this
that
is over
playground
here.
equipment will be here.
Yeah, you see, here's
This
the
is
slide that's
the
up there
shelter
now.
house.
Yeah.
This shelter house.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Now, all this is would be concrete pathway.
That's cool. Go all the
Okay.
way around, yeah.
This project includes completely resurfacing that, new goals, new concrete, get rid of the broken up, get rid of that. 4-foot fence around the pickleball to keep the balls and keep her, keep that. court
Like a chain link
protected.
or something.
Yep, yep.
Is that approaching that
This,
booth?
no,
It's
this
over
is,
Still,
this is the slide. That's
Oh,
just the
okay.
edge of the slide,
Okay.
right? So it's still,
Still takes up the same space.
yeah, it stays in this footprint here.
You see where the merry-go-round is now.
And see here where it says current fence?
okay,
Yeah, so,
Fans parking lot.
thank you.
now some of these aren't, he did tell me the scaling of some of these are a little goofy because it's
Sure.
just the 2D. He said when you build out the full 3D images, it looks better.
It's all conceptual.
But what I want, well, the coolest thing and what I'm super excited about, I really hope I really pray all this goes through. All that's gonna be turf.
Oh,
Never have to deal with
So
it ever again.
nice.
All turf.
don't have to
Wow.
know.
So
That'd be
essentially,
great.
you never have to, it's,
You gotta worry about
Self-
bugs and
yeah,
all that stuff.
self-sufficient. You don't have to worry about the fiber mulch going everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
So-
Still soft for people to play and
Yeah.
rain and crash on.
that'd be so awesome.
Now, this still includes the original farm idea, but then it changes a little bit, this is the little kids, right?
Yeah,
This side, you see, this is a concrete cart path here, right? This side is little kids, so what are they, it's like 3
5
to
and under.
5, it's like 3 to 5 or something like that, and then 5 to 12 is what's considered the other side. Now the cool thing is here, this really expanded my mind. I thought this would look cool. This is the kind of space, this is the really cool option. So everything that we just looked at for over here, this still includes the basketball court. He just doesn't have that in this drawing. This is just the playground area. Look at this playground stuff. I thought that was so cool because this is the newest, all this climbing stuff is the newest, latest and greatest activities. It's leading towards all this, cause Ninja Warrior, that kind of,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that climbing and all that gymnastics type stuff is the new, you just maximize. Now,
Are
I
they talk-
have so many catalogs in my truck.
But yeah.
I'm just saying, he brought a stack of stuff, so just cause this is the drawing, this is just a potential,
idea.
an idea, right? You don't have to stick with this exact, like, they have stuff that is similar to this, in different,
Sizes and configurations.
yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. I like the other one though, cause it had a place for like handicapped kids, that rampway.
Well,
Well, you
so
can add
both
that
of
in there,
these, yeah, so see, you got this, this is this is the smaller one, see, so it does
Mhm.
have. It would all be
Oh,
ADA,
that's a total different.
yeah, so there's this is the big one, this is the
Oh,
smaller
okay.
kid one,
Like there's the ramp and.
so,
Nice.
you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This is, these are what the potential swings that would look like, and so you see this.
Yeah.
See this strip here? And in that drawing, that's this right here. That's what
Okay.
that is. So that's where that proposed look is. This thing right
That would
here,
be Placing,
it would be right here.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep, it'd be right here.
Are we gonna take them other junk swings out?
Yes, yeah, that would be, I told him I said that would be like a phase 2.
Yeah.
Because until we could actually get the money to have more swings, let's at least. And so
Yeah.
he said, well, that's not a problem. We can freshen those up with money
Temporary.
from phase 1, temporary
Sure.
freshening,
Good.
Put some good
Um,
chains and seats.
chains, seats. Yeah, we had all that. Yeah. And it's funny, this company, this Goliath, it's actually the company that built those basketball goals.
Oh, wow.
So he goes, yeah, that's our company. So, this thing, and I said, it looks like gators. I was like, it looks
Yeah.
like alligators. And so he said, this is the latest and greatest selling, piece in playground right now. All this is flexible and flexes back and forth. He said, so get handles on each end and it all just,
Just get up there and.
I said, okay. He said, dude, he said it is super popular right now. So the climbing jungles, all these nets and all this stuff. Anywhere you can get those ropes, he said, man,
Thunderdome.
any of those is like, yeah, that's funny. So a lot of this, and I didn't ask him specifically about this, but some of this is music. Some of these could be drums, like there are instruments to go, just like you go over to Lexington Elementary and then even up at the Church Madison, North Madison Christian, they have like little drum sets that have aircraft aluminum pieces. You're not like, you gotta, and it is cool. Like,
I bet the neighbors will love that.
oh, yeah. So, I can only assume that's what it is. I didn't ask him about that directly on the phone. But you know, and then here's little lines of, these are like little mazes, little colors, little, just all kinds of, just little wheels, whiz wheels, all that. See, there's the music. So there's definitely with that. I bet you that's probably like chimes or something. There's all, dude, it is, I'm super excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped. So, tic-tac-toe, like, you know, like checker type deal. So there's all kinds of stuff in this plan. So, if we're okay with kind of what this stuff looks like, I'll have him go ahead and work on. I really think this one is so cool. I like the look of it. I like the complexity of it. I told him, I said, this is what I want to do. I said, and they're the company that designed the park that's down right on waterfront where
Oh, that's a cool.
I said, here's what I want to do. I said, I make a statement. I said, I want to make something, I want it to be vastly unique, not something that you can go
Anywhere.
there or there or there. I don't mind having pieces that other people have,
Yeah.
but I want it to make a
That's
statement.
unique.
So,
You gotta come here to get it.
yeah. So if we're all kind of cool and want to see what some of this stuff looks like in better drawings, I'll tell him to go ahead with it. But like I said, this is essentially, when this was the first thing that came to mind when I was originally thinking that we only were going to talk to the community foundation, that
I just have one nice little.
we might have one nice little piece out here and we would try to spend extra money to clean up the swings and do what we could to the basketball goals. But then when I found out that there are other people that are looking to help us out, sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, yeah. Go big or go,
yeah,
or at least try, see what they'll let you do. So.
But they have, I mean, and you could go to this if you were really and truly interested in seeing all their options. This Playcraft is the company. You can go to playcraft.com and you can look at all these different, they have a whole farm theme thing. They have so many different options in farm theme.
If you guys are watching this, you can get on here and
Yeah.
let Corey know what you think
Yes.
out here.
So,
All right.
Playcraft, if you would like to,
I like the farm, but I like the other one.
I do too. And I would just hate that, as bad as I think I would like to see the farm theme, I would also hate to miss out on having the whole
Super
thing
cool.
kind of match and be
Yeah.
really next level,
Cohesive.
right? So, one thing that I did talk to him about, and I had a property owner, the person, and I don't know how, I talked to a good friend of mine that wound up with the old U2 sign. And I don't know if we all know, I'm sure everybody here knows what the U2 sign is and the old missile. A close friend of mine has that and said, would we look into putting it out here somewhere as a memorial to the crossroads? So that's a whole nother realm. I sent the pictures to him to see if there was a way to put it into this. I don't know that it really fits with the theme of this, but I'm also not opposed to having some sort of a memorial for, because there is nothing left of Jackson's 3-in-1. The only thing that we could have left of our crossroads out here is the old U2. It has the sign. It has the 3-sided sign that says U2, still has the missile. It's all sitting on his trailer. So maybe if we can squeeze some funds here and there at some point, maybe he would be,
Preserve
you know, if we could preserve that somewhere out here. I think that would be something that, I think a lot of the folks from around here, especially some of the older
Lot of-
folks would,
Nostalgia for sure.
yeah. So that takes care of the park. Anybody have any
Nope.
comments about that? So that,
Say
Just
go ahead and
say
get some
way to
more
go.
drawings.
huh?
I just wanna say way to go.
Very
Appreciate
good.
it. Yeah, we're
Yes.
trying.
Keep doing what you gotta do to hook up with the Bethany Foundation and pitch a good pitch to them. So
Yeah,
do whatever you gotta do.
we're working on that. So appreciate it, guys. It's been, it's a learning experience, but trying to do right for the people, and that's it. So, all right, let's talk real quick about the tree. That is a massive tree. I don't know that, I'm not afraid to cut it up. I don't know that and even with help from the guys, I don't know that I wanna be the one that
You shouldn't
cuts it
have
all up.
to.
I have a local company here that could probably use a job. They quoted me $1,200 to get it all down to size that I can come out here with my skid steer, load it on my trailer and take it to the house so that I can split it.
1,200?
Yeah, so, I mean, we have. Yeah, that's,
Sold.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we already have money in the budget.
Tear one down, it wasn't that big.
Yeah, I mean, we already have money in the budget that's allotted for the park. I could have just said, go ahead and do it, but I at least wanted to talk to folks. Make sure you guys were,
You're good taking it.
yeah, I will take, I told him I want the wood, cause I need it, I burn it all winter long, so.
Yeah, Hickory's good.
And that will, yes, so
Think that you could get on it pretty quick.
he acted like, just to let him know, so I don't know if we can be Jubilee fast, we had already,
We've already had.
yeah, yeah.
It'd be nice if we get some of the brush out of there.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what I wanna tell him. I don't know that I have time to come and get the logs, but if he could get the brush gone,
Just pile up the logs somewhere and you can come get them
Yeah.
later, yeah, but
Yeah.
definitely get the trees.
Mark 'em so
Yeah.
I would push to have that done toward you.
Yeah. so I will. Yeah,
I thought they trimmed some trees.
Yep.
About 4 years ago.
Yeah. yep,
I thought to keep that beech tree.
yeah,
Yeah, I remember.
As bad as much as I love that beech tree, it does provide some shade.
this
It is, yeah, there was shade on there.
yeah,
It is,
Got a big old hole in it.
can I kick in a couple $100 or something to help make that? As bad as I thought to be, but now I'm offering to help fund making it
Yeah.
go away.
I mean, no, I can ask him about it. I mean, we have money in the fund. It's not
It's
like,
cheaper to do it while they're already here.
Sure.
yeah,
1,000%.
all right.
Get a, yeah, see what they charge.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are okay with getting rid of it, that was our big, and Eston, I know you weren't necessarily here during that meeting I know you were here.
There
when
were
we had
people
that.
here that expressed a disdain for removing any trees.
Yes.
I remember
You can
that.
see a big hole going in.
Well, there was, when he's talking about the trees getting topped from before, there was a company that was gonna come in and they were gonna top them down to 25 foot. And I said, you mean just like all them dead ones out here?
Yeah.
And so anyways, yes, we brought in the state forester to do a selective cutting, selective trimming, and so that's why some of these trees are still alive is we
And
fought
they
for it.
They only kept that one for me, I'll be honest.
So Short Beach and then the Hickory.
Well, and if we look forward looking to. what
Yeah,
we're
that, all
doing
this will
here,
be, yeah,
It needs.
yeah, it won't, yeah, that won't last for the future projects, so. Let's see, Duke, I need to get a hold of them. I gotta get a hold of them. I think we kinda already talked about it. Might as well go ahead and talk about it real quick. I need to buy an external hard drive. Because these meetings take up an immense amount of data and I've already used up the SD card that I had been using. I would probably not even be able to fit this meeting on there until I get it. So It's, let's just say $200 or less, probably. I think I saw a single terabyte at Walmart today for like $100.
That'll get you back for a while.
That will go for a long while, so, yeah. Again, we've got money, I just wanna talk about it, it's in the budget, I mean, that's a records deal, but just talk about it, I like to talk about it. The convention, did you ever?
With me missing all my work from my rec, I just. won't be
Okay.
able to.
I really wanna go to the convention, I haven't committed to it just yet, because I potentially can't. I potentially also have some conflicts, so I have not bought my tickets, I have not. paid
Every
for
year.
them. It is annual, yeah, evidently, and this year, I really would hate to miss this year with all the new stuff going on. Especially considering they're talking about starting to mandate that we all have training, a certain amount of training every year. Not just this 30 minutes, like classes that we are all supposed to be a part of. Yeah, so I really don't want to have to miss it. If I have to miss it, it's gonna be a shame, but I haven't bought my stuff for it yet. We have our training form signed. The only other thing, that we need to talk about, that we talked about last time, was the, gates and the, access to the park. I spoke with the farmer, it's cool, I think, and it's kind of like we talked in the last meeting. I think there's some years of some confusion going on. I talked with the landowner today. He is fairly adamant that there's an easement. So I spent about an hour and a half in the courthouse today. Got a nice little scratch from the dadgum drawer that somebody left sticking out in the records room, and that took my knee off, but we went back and we dug into the microfilms, for all these properties. The only mention of any kind of, easement is the one that we have for the park through that property out there. This property exchanged hands in 72. I think that's right. I think that's what it was from. That piece of property did not get sold from the Armans until 76. So that piece was sold to Eddie and Mildred in 76. The property owner's concern is that it is landlocked. Since it adjoins I'm not here to debate legal matters and all that. I'm just gonna report that that's, what they would like to do. In talking with the farmer, he would like to be able to at least, get grain truck through here. Not going around. I think they'll figure a way around somehow, because I'm pretty sure they'd call them the next guy's property, but they'd at least like to have the ability to get a grain truck, through here. So, one of the big concerns that we had, especially with them going around, is crossing over any potential lateral lines and the septic over there. I told him I would bring it to the board. It is kind of, I will say it is kind of close to the fall to try to make any kind of major changes to somebody's, arrangements. So, and again, I told all of them, don't shoot the messenger, there's a board. And
So when you say landlocked, does that mean that parcel that he owns he does not also own other parcels around it?
yes, but it is not, so
But it's not.
so it's really hard, That parcel in itself is landlocked, but he owns
Meaning-
one side of it on a different parcel of ground. So that's where the gray area becomes, is it really landlocked? Is it not landlocked?
He owns two parcels.
He owns it.
At least.
Parcels, Jim.
the two parcels are adjoined, and so when I was, so I didn't also just go to I didn't also just stop at the courthouse. I also went to the surveyor's office because the records guy said, well, there were also potentially could be something on an old survey. We, the nice lady at the surveyor's office dug and dug, and I sat there for 30 minutes trying to find something, and there's no record now, not saying that there wasn't a survey done at some point, but there is not a recorded official survey through them for her to search. She did not find anything. She didn't even find one for, well, I guess I don't know that we looked for this piece of property because it really wasn't, it doesn't have anything. Yeah, no, she did. Yeah. Maybe she didn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Her comment when looking at the aerial satellite view was, well, that's not really landlocked because
He owns the adjoining.
he owns the adjoining property. And if you look at it, the aerial view,
There's access to it from the other parcel.
well, I will just, let me just bring it up so that it's, so we're not going off of what I said. We're going off of what Jefferson County.
Has on record.
If the guy says he has that, I mean, does he have a paper or proof?
And speaking with him today, I mean, he was very,
We're back here.
he does not have record of it in his, he looked through all of his paperwork. He does not, show any record of it.
That's good.
So
So this is the piece we're talking about.
yes, yeah, this piece of property right here.
Park.
Yeah, yeah.
And which other one does he own?
So he owns this.
Oh, boy.
He owns that big one back
Yeah.
here, and it comes down here, looks like.
Yes, the driveway. Let
It's
me-
it's
yeah.
even carved out straight to the road.
Yes.
So
So-
you have to come probably over here to this.
yes, so the lady's comment was, well, it looks like this parcel, talking about the field, actually works with this field here.
Whenever they're planting, they're gonna do all that, yeah.
Yes. And so she goes, well, then and
If they already have to be on that parcel anyway.
well, what they're doing, what's happening is they're accessing even this part of the field through the park,
Right.
right? So
But
I told him I would bring it up.
And now
I've done,
this farmer that does this part here doesn't necessarily do this.
yes, he does.
He does, so he does do all that.
Yes.
So
There's, well, the statements, there's supposedly no way to, I mean, I see a wood line here. I don't know. I'm
Clears
just,
out.
is this a creek or what? Like what's,
so, well, without.
what's that wood, is there like a ditch that they just can't mow?
I don't know. I haven't gone back there. I haven't visually put my eyes on it. It looks
Is it
like there's,
harvesting this longer stretch too?
yes, yeah,
The same farmer is there.
yeah, yeah. Mhm. Yep,
You drag this up a little bit.
yes, sir.
Maybe something around the pond.
Looks like you just clear some of that tree line.
So this is a,
Go
like a
through the
ditch or a
creek.
creek or something.
Well,
Yeah,
have to do on
I
it.
think he was referring to it today as a creek, yes.
So there's not currently any, and you can't walk the creek, like gravel it over or nothing, so that's. I guess you could put a culvert in and.
We just drive our farm equipment over the creek, a running one and a driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the wet one has water and all.
Well, and there's trees that eat that, but still, that's property that he owns, and he can do that if he wants. To give access to his farmers, from what you're okay, so this is Joe Crawford,
Yes, sir.
that's this piece, and if you highlight this one. Joe Crawford,
Yes.
so that confirms he owns these two parcels.
And he's farming
There is
that
not-
too.
I don't see. I don't see circumstances that kind of, quote unquote,
A need.
requires us to give this guy access to that property or else his stuff isn't going to get done. Like there are other avenues that he can explore without coming onto government property. And potentially now that we're talking about, kids and playground equipment and all this stuff running around, I don't know that that's really a safe environment for big equipment to be driving through, whenever he feels like it.
Well, it's wear and tear, it's gravel,
It is.
it's ruts. And there's
Like
tillage drainage that goes there for that low spot
Right.
I mean,
anyway.
a grain truck is similar. So it's
You're
Yeah.
talking 80,000 pounds, probably. That's, I don't know that our little gravel strip here is gonna be rated for that, to protect this.
why does he need to at least get a grain truck through here though, but nothing else? Where's he getting the other stuff in there at then?
Well,
He's gotta have larger.
I
equipment than that.
don't know for 100% certain.
It's to
I'm
empty
going
the
off of,
combine and haul the grain.
I'm assuming too, the semi can't probably go through the creek or whatever.
yeah.
No, it would have to be,
I believe they farm this piece, the farmer, I believe the farmer farms this piece of ground. And
Okay.
so if you look out here, I'm pretty sure
it's that wood
Right
line.
through there.
that it's that piece that's on that side. And which matches that, so. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I know it is a sticky wicket.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he has.
And,
to have a way-
in his comment to me a couple of times today was, well, how did all this happen this way? And I said, well, honestly, I think it's just, it's been one of those things that, I said, well, you'd be surprised how many people have come to me and asked me for keys. And I said, I think there were too many keys that had been given out over the years. And I said, and I think, it was just one of those things that, a lot of the older guys that have since passed on operated on a handshake deal, and that's how it carried down over years. He goes, well, when I bought the property, a key was handed to me and told me I had a right of way. And I said, well,
That they was told us to. I was asked by land,
yeah,
and I was asked by Eddie Davis.
yeah,
Easement on the easement.
yeah,
Good faith.
yeah. And he goes, because he asked, I said, well, I'll tell you, I
He
said,
knew it. Should have.
So you're saying he knew that he probably shouldn't have the right of way to that?
well, I don't know. He's pretty adamant that he was told that he had a right of way there. Now, I will say that, and he was kind of confused on everything. I said, well, I say this, I said, I said, the night that you and I first talked about it, I said, I called the trustee that was right before me. I said, I talked to the trustee that was before him. I said, I also talked to my father who sat on the advisory board for 30 some years prior to me taking his spot. I said, and none of them knew that it was going on, or that was happening. I said, so I don't know what I don't know what to say.
It's really hard to make a case that
Yeah.
needs to continue to happen.
I don't know. I don't know.
You mentioned there's a timing issue here with being real close to harvest time and all this stuff. And because of the timing of the meeting, I don't know that I'm inherently opposed to allowing a one-time access just for this year, but
Moving forward.
I mean, there needs to be a discussion around like, can this road, I know there's that drainage that Tony just put in. Like, can that handle a truck driving over it?
Sure, I don't know, bro.
Not with that grain.
I-
That's a lot of grain.
And we know it can't go around the back road.
I don't, with.
It looks like he can make some improvements to his property to access it just fine.
And that's gonna be a better, more secure, long-term thing.
Long
anyway.
term,
Like,
yeah.
I definitely don't know that
in my opinion, I can't tell him what he can and can't do in his personal
Yeah.
property, but
Yeah,
I'm not seeing any evidence that if we don't give him access, he can't do it. You know,
yeah.
he owns the property next door and it should be up to him to make sure that his land can accommodate equipment to get farm equipment in and out. You know,
Got all the damn. I zoom and I move the map. Does anybody need to see the map? Because I have to refresh it to figure it
I
out.
think we've seen
No,
what we need to see.
Honestly, though, I'm kind of worried about that new drainage we just put in for this
Right.
season.
Right.
And I mean, unless he wants to, I don't even know if Or you can-
The farmer, I know, I will go and I will go to the extent and say that, the farmer would be definitely good for any potential damage. And I would say that if everybody's cohesive with allowing them to get the grain harvested this fall, we need to inspect and have some sort of a, and I would make sure when I talk to the farmer that, that they understand that, hey, this is we gotta figure something else out for the spring, or at least that's what they wanna do. And that, we just put in that tile and they're concerned about the tile collapsing, and that kind of stuff. So if something goes amiss, you're gonna be responsible for the damage.
and I think that needs to be in a written
Writing,
contract agreement.
I agree with
That's
that.
not gonna be another handshake deal.
Yeah.
This is the whole reason we're having this conversation. So just to summarize.
One more thing before you do. No, it's okay. It's all good.
I will, so
That's what it's for.
let's summarize that
Oh.
we're gonna allow him to do it here for this fall, just because of the timing and the short notice. But it needs to be in writing that if he causes damage to either the lateral lines or the drainage tile, that he'll be responsible for covering any costs associated with repairing it. And he needs to get a hold of us so we can open the gate so we don't take it off the
Yeah. Well, that's,
Not leaving our freaking gates like.
yeah, I said we can't do that no more. I was a little
Yeah.
frustrated about that.
Yeah, okay, so the board agrees to.
I'd do that in a motion. My recommendation to you guys, do whatever you want. I'd make a motion.
I second it. Think I've
You say
done
Nora,
everything.
you,
And I can ask I did ask him to come tonight. I don't know that, this is kind of a short notice deal for him. I can ask him to come on the 3rd. And maybe we can further discuss. So that's up.
I don't think there's really any way of getting back there without
great, makes sense.
redoing something majorly or something to
Yeah.
build his trucks.
And I don't, like, is it
And
even,
the comment was, a few comments have been made by him about paying to move the fence and take stuff out. I said, well, we'll just put that in. I said, I don't know that they're gonna be, we just paid good money to have all that put in. I don't think that they're gonna be, we can ask about it, but
I mean, unless he's gonna pay to put in a road that can't handle his truck,
And maintain it.
like maybe a paved road, something that'll.
at least heavy gravel. I would, yeah. Yeah.
Even a school bus, the school paid for gravel. in the
I don't
driveway.
know if we can, I don't know if we can even legally ask him to do that, but
I just think if he makes the appropriate accommodations
If
to
he's gonna-
his one parcel, it'll can join the second, and then there won't be any other
If he can-
problem.
Fix for him.
if he
Just
can invest that over
this
here,
whole
he can
board's
invest
been
it over
changing
there.
Yeah.
for years, like.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't know, as a farmer myself, when I was actively farming, I don't know that I would have put a pile of money into this project. I would have, work with. I don't know.
Or at
I
least make
can't.
sure you had access to your own property and not.
I
Try to work with somebody else to get permission instead of spending extra.
something, yeah, I think there's
I mean, I
just a
get
lot
it.
of liability in the
Money's
play, in play.
Yeah, there's gonna be all kinds of kids here once this playground equipment gets put in here. That
Yeah,
truck doesn't really need to be here.
yeah. And I mean, I get the argument, well, it doesn't get used a lot now. Well, I
It's not
get
the
that,
point.
but
It might.
we're trying
you know.
to,
We're
we're trying to change that.
Actively trying.
And if everything goes through, with the hopes and dreams that it's all gonna work out right, it would be a problem, so.
Um.
Yeah, if he has any alternate ideas though, tell him he's gonna have to talk to us, I guess. On the third,
Or help explain why he can't, when make some improvements to his property that'll make it more farmer friendly, like.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say, you probably didn't start this off too right, just with taking them gates off anyway.
bingo.
Well, that was the whole
Yeah.
point of putting it, the point of putting it so people don't drive
Yeah.
on
We should grab that.
on the grass and stuff, but I think people should be able to drive back there in the park if they want, maybe one day we will remove them, but that's still beside the point.
One thing that we did talk about last month, and we don't have to, I did look into it. We're at the levy rate. We can't change, can't change the levy. Like we've talked about potentially
Oh,
trying to like at least increase maybe the park fund, right? We're at the maximum allowable levy, and which it's still, to me, it still doesn't make sense because, and I know we brought it up and compared like Lancaster Township and some of these other townships to what we're getting. It still doesn't make sense why our numbers, but yet we're maxed out. Nobody can explain, well, that's just your max levy. And I'm like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Something has to contribute. to
Yeah,
making it-
so, nobody can actually hit me to the right. Blessing box, we talked about that. Blessing box, we talked about having him build us something. And I think I talked to you about this already. His recommendation was to get one of them stainless steel, cabinets
I think I
instead of
remember
their.
that last time.
Yeah, so that will be forthcoming at some point, so. That's it for me. I'm done.
Jason, you got anything?
Well, just a quick update. Monday we went to meeting with, Jefferson County Tourism Board. Here, so we applied for, was afraid to put too much in it. I talked to Corey about it before got the application due 2 weeks ago. So he ended up asking for about $11,000. But the way the grants presented, it'll help cover some of the expenses for the Jubilee, but we asked for Jubilee not trying to keep it separated, but we thought we might.
Yeah.
Two different kinds of. So there was 12 applicants. I was concerned about getting it in. When I talked to you.
Yep.
And then come to find out, we were the first one to get the application. So we went to the meeting, we were the first one that had to present.
Oh, that's good.
That's all new to me, so.
Okay.
But the one thing that tourism board is looking for is how do you measure in bringing tourism
Into the county.
Jefferson County.
Yeah.
That's their number. So the only measurement I could tell you for that was increase utilization of.
Absolutely.
So, but I think what we're talking about here, you know, we have, I don't know if it makes sense. Right, let's kind of go.
I think our visions are aligned for sure. I think our visions are aligned for sure.
So I listed the expenses for the Jubilee and I was underestimating that. So we put in the drive of it. $3,000 and we just focused it in under upgrading the playground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we talked earlier about
Yeah.
maybe public place of stuff underneath.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that, early on, that was not even in my realm of thought process until,
So hit the paper and then they,
yeah, and then, cause when that guy come down and we talked about what he could do, he goes, well, the coolest thing right now is to put turf down, and I'm like, oh.
And
So,
I did buy in North Park and looked at those parks they put together there.
yeah,
We've got twice as much opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So here,
That's another idea,
so
yeah.
people could stay here and use that equipment.
People
Because
could
I
rent
think that
camping
would help,
spots.
like the tourism stuff, get people here.
Get
If
people
they could stay here for
here.
the weekend,
oh, yeah.
or people could stay for the Jubilee, you'd probably get more attendance.
That's not a bad.
It's really
I
not.
would definitely do it, like,
We
we
did
should look into
Camper
it.
spots, we could hook into some
We did.
septic stuff.
we did have to replace, the faucet on that park corner, the last one. The last Wednesday, even.
Yeah.
They called me
It was,
tomorrow, so
ah,
I was, I can't think how much anymore that would do 15 trips. But it's going to stay there.
Good.
Yeah.
They did a good job.
Good. Do you need any money for that, or?
Down the road, we'll have a conversation about the utilities, that's.
Okay.
Okay. We've been probably overprotected because of that, because we put it all in. That doesn't mean it needs to stay there.
Right, yeah. If it's an asset to the park, then, you know, we should probably be responsible for covering those costs for sure. So.
Well, I think I think that's what he's saying. I think they'll take care of it for now, and then we'll
figure
worry
it out.
about, yeah,
Yeah,
as
yeah,
time goes on.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Is that right? Did I understand that right? You're good? You don't need anything from us for that right now? Okay,
It would be really nice if you guys could get us a map of where.
I've got one.
Oh, okay.
it's a rough map.
And the
It's,
utilities and stuff, yeah.
Best that I can
Can
remember.
remember.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
but we do have, it is a rough sketch. And at some point, what we could do, at some point in the future, I have a sniffer.
Hmm.
And what I can do is, and I use it all the time at the golf course, because we have lines buried everywhere out there. I can hook in to like this outlet, or like the line that goes underground, and I can
Trace it.
sniff exactly where that line is.
That's good.
So,
It's good you got it.
I haven't tried that on water yet, like, I think I can hook it to that steel pipe,
Mhm.
and as long as it gives that signal in that water, cause
It'll do the conduit.
I
yeah.
think it will, so we're gonna
Steel
find out. I haven't done that yet, but.
I've done it back at, State Hospital when I worked there.
Oh, did you? You had a snip, did that same? Okay. So yeah,
We used to chase phone lines and all kinds of stuff underground with it, yeah.
But the RV idea, that is pimping. I didn't even think about
You could
that.
invest in some,
Take that money and put it into another something.
Yeah,
You charge
it would be
rent.
revenue.
Yeah.
the news.
We talked about extending the.
There's only 50 around here. That's it. People tell us all the time, but it's always full.
Mhm.
That's.
Yeah,
very
Like people
true.
that come
You
out for
could do
Jubilee,
some,
they
you could do some
could stay here if
daggone
they have a camper.
That's what I'm
They don't
saying.
have to leave.
diagonal spots right back over there.
It's a great idea.
That would be nice.
You'd have to invest in some water and electric and sewer and all that, you know.
But still,
Yeah, but I mean. Oh, yeah, so everybody should see, Tony did get that out here, so we do now have, our porta john out there is. Our permanent porta john is in much better shape.
So is it open?
It's ready to go. Go out there. Yeah, you wanna go pop a squat?
No, but it's nice that it's there if we have to.
Yeah, yeah,
The
so,
only thing that was, and it didn't dawn on me until I was out here about bus. No, never has been any electric in there.
yeah.
Today, when we were out shopping for some battery operated.
something you can flip on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's a good idea.
Well, which, normally you wouldn't need to have that as an option because parks close technically at dark and all that, but yeah, for the Jubilee, that will, yeah.
What's on me for stone.
Perfect. I like it. I like it. And we're recording. You can hit me.
Meeting adjourned at 7:37 PM. Have a nice day, everybody.
See ya.
You get it.
Hold on.